Hey everybody, welcome back to our Radio City Products Model 480 multimeter. I want to just give you an update and show you a few things which may be helpful. So as you recall, this unit is completely made out of bakelite. Obviously, there's no plastic involved. And you'll see that I've done quite a bit of cleaning on the front. And you could tell, see that shine? I don't know if you remember what it looked like in the first video, but clearly much better. And I've also cleaned the side, the case. I'm still working on that a little bit. And the back. Just getting it back to where it needs to be. And it's looking really sweet here. From an inside perspective, I did clean out some of the corrosion that was leaking inside here, so that's been all cleaned. And then underneath, here's what I've done so far. So I did replace this cap. This is a .25. I had to put in a .22 because I can't find any .25 caps. I believe that's a value that's no longer available, or at least not easily. I've tested every one of the resistors in here, and they all test good. And I've also cleaned these battery terminals. And you'll see here, this is the one that was very corroded. And still need to play a little bit with this one. There's still a little bit of corrosion there that I'm going to get off. But it's looking much better. And I've also cleaned this side. So so we're making some progress. I'm still working on this, obviously. I still want to check some of these resistors here. I haven't checked these yet. And then we'll see where we're going. So let's put that back in here so we don't damage anything. So I still have left to clean these knobs. These knobs have not been cleaned yet, obviously. And let me show you what I'm using to clean the bakelite. So many of you know that I am a musician as well. And you know, one of the things I like to do once in a while is build a guitar. And this is what you use when you build a guitar and you put a nitrocellulose finish on it. You use fine polishing compound, right, like that. This is color tone. It's very fine, doesn't scratch. And I know that bakelite is susceptible to scratches. So I'm basically using this. It's a paste, like that. Very thick. You can put a little water on it and soften it up a little bit. And it's a perfect rubbing compound for this bakelite. It does a really nice job. And I actually got this from a company called Stuart McDonald, I believe. Yeah, Stuart McDonald right there. So if you're interested, there's their part number. I've had this for quite a bit. You can tell I've had it since 2011. So it's probably a little dried out, but like I said, you just add water. So the next thing I want to show you is these probes. So I took the one probe apart right here. And I want to show you how it comes apart. And it's basically just an empty wand. This side has threads. This side is just a smaller hole. So a larger hole, smaller hole. I actually did polish these as well with that compound. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to take apart the black one and show you exactly how to do it in case you ever get one of these. And it's very simple. So the way this works is this top screws out like this. And if you look at this, they have, it's a piece of stranded wire, that's all it is, one connector. And they actually have it running up into the barrel of the contact. And it runs up and comes out this hole, like that. Let me make that close so you can see it. Comes out that little beveled hole right there. Alright, and then what you do is you push it down like that, and you screw it into the body, and that's how you get your connection. So to take this out, it's simply just pulling that out like that. Okay, and now I can take this point and clean it, and you'll see inside the wire is pretty good. You know, over here it's all old and chopped, and this just kind of slides off like this, and there's your wand. I did get some 10 gauge wire stranded, and I got 12 gauge wire. I'm not sure exactly which one I'm going to use. I got to see what fits into these holes properly. Okay, and then on the other end of this wire is your connector, and I'll show you what it looks like on the red one. So basically, all they're doing is running the solid wire into the base, and there's another hole right here, and you see they've got some solder on there. So it's just a question of removing the solder. This wire pulls out, you put the new one in, you run the wire out, and you solder it, and you're good. So when I get that new wire, I'm going to rebuild those probes. Then I need to figure out what I'm going to do with these tips. I am going to have to clean them. I noticed that one of the tips is broken right here. Let's see if you could see that. So this tip is pointy, this tip is broken, and these tips do come out. So I have to see if they sell replacement tips for this type of probe. But I'll clean these up and make them look good. And that's really all I have left to do on this thing, except for calibrate it. And of course, once I get all this put back together, I can take this thing and throw the battery in there and see if it works. I did measure a 1.5 volt battery when I had it set to DC, and it worked. It actually was pretty close. But I have to see how you zero adjust it. I believe what you do is you put a probe in common and one over here in R with a zero adjust port right here, and touch them together, and that's how you do your zero adjust. But we'll get to that. So I'm going to continue cleaning this thing. There's still a little bit more to go. I want to see if I can get this glass clean. This glass is a little bit dirty. But other than that, we have a really, really nice vintage piece of equipment. Matter of fact, one of my great subscribers, AM radio engineer, told a story about how there was a Pan Am plane crash in 1963, and one of the first people they found was a production engineer from City Products. And I was actually pretty impressed to hear that it's very rare to find these things, actually. I assume there's not many of them around, which is good, I guess. It's good that I've got this one, and I'm able to restore it. It's a really, really nice analog meter. Some of the work that I do, the digital meters are just not good enough. They're just too slow. So, so this would be a good substitute for that. So, sorry, I'm just having a sip of coffee here. So, that's where we are with this project. I also heard from a few of you that this box that it came in is probably the original shipping box. Well, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to clean this box up as well. And I may put a coat of varnish or shellac on it just to protect it, because it is old. We don't want it to dry out too badly. And this way I'll keep the meter inside the box, and it'll look nice. I'll have it forever, which at this stage of my life isn't long, but that's okay. So anyway, that's the update. I'll come back and show you this in the finished form when I'm done. I am going to start a new project tomorrow, and I'm going to video that for you. I've actually got two projects I'm going to work on, so I'll decide which one I'm going to post up here. One of them has to do with an AM transmitter, and one of them has to do with something completely different. But I'll decide which one I'm going to do. So anyway, that's it for today, folks. Hope you're having a great Friday, and hope you have a great weekend ahead. And I'll see you all later. This is Ron. Thanks for watching. P.S. Do you like the steady camera? I'm trying. All right, folks. Thank you. Take care.